So first thing first, when I'm doing the portrait, you see I'm making multiple copies of that portrait from light to dark to extra light. Make sure you got enough details to go off of. It all starts out with the picture. Because one thing, if you got a blurred picture, expect to have a blurred tattoo. Even if you use some AI to make it sharper, it still don't give 100% of that original copy. AI gonna switch things totally up. So it's always good to try to get a clear image as possible, as clear as you could. That way all the adjustments that I'm making now, I know I definitely didn't need all them layers. I wound up deleting probably half of those layers. I mark it as OG, you see, so I know the original copy. I can always go back to the original and then darken up in between, just in case if I need something lighter, I can see it. If I need something darker, I'll switch in between it so I can see exactly where I'm going. And I know some people like to, just still print them out and just stencil straight from a sheet of paper. The only thing about that is I try to do it with my iPad, just leave the face as it is, but some details you really can't see. So I can imagine on a sheet of paper you really can't see some details, and something you're just going to definitely leave out just by going off of a sheet of paper, because when they print out a printer, the picture automatically is a little bit blurred itself, unless you got a real good printer that you get that laser print, and that might be real clear. So that's why I definitely prefer using the iPad, and I can zoom in a little bit. But say if I'm further out, I'll be just basically catching the shape of things, because you can't see, of course, like this hair right now I'm catching. I'll be kind of creating these textures in the hair, and that's something that I really don't want to do. If I have to, yeah, I create some textures like in the hair. If it's all solid black, I know not to make it all solid black. I'm going to just go ahead and add some textures in there regardless. For some important spots, I prefer not to just go ahead and create spots. If I can see it with my eye, okay, cool, I can stencil it and I can tattoo it. Versus just trying to guess along the way. You don't want this to be no guessing game. Because one, it's a portrait, it's very technical. And you basically replicating exactly what you see. And sometimes if something don't make sense as an artist, okay, yeah, you can make a little changes here and there. If a shadow just look like it's not there, okay, put a little shadow if it look like that's where that shadow belongs. But the whole goal is to try to mimic exactly what you're seeing. Main things is those shadows though, because the shadows and lights, that's what structure the face out. Like I tell people, realistic all the time. Realistic don't have no lines. Okay. Of course, we going off of these basic shadows and stuff to kind of create the map out for the blueprint for the stencil, creating these lines. But when you shading this and actually in the process of doing the tattoo, yes, there's no lines. I use like a mag for 90% of this tattoo. Sometimes I'll come in with like a 7-round liner right where I'm stenciling that on the eyes, but other than that, it's not really needed. I done got a little comfortable with it to where I really don't have to use the liner around the eyes, unless I just prefer to, like the pupils, get them white highlights inside the eyes, little highlights and stuff like that, maybe even structure out certain things. But other than that, you don't want to use them lines like a liner. And that's one thing I'll say, when I do use the liners, I don't use it as a liner, because of course them hard lines, once your tattoo is held up, them hard lines are going to stand out like a sore thumb, and it's going to completely throw off your portrait. Some people will put like bold lines on the outside. I never seen nobody put lines on the inside of the portrait. If it's on the inside, it's definitely going to be cartoonish portrait. Don't look for realistic, because realistic is no lines. And as you all see, I just went in between that blurry layer. That's when it got too much details in the area. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of a guessing game. Let me just blur it out so I can just go off the basic shape. And as I'm tattooing it, I can still switch in between layers and capture that detail. But the main picture I try to definitely go off is the original. The main one. When I can't go off of that, of course, that means something is either too dark or it's too light. And that's why I switch in between those dark and light layers. Also, this is not a process that you want to rush. Take your time. As long as sometimes it could take 45 minutes, sometimes it could take an hour to stencil a portrait. So don't rush it. It can seem simple, but really it's way more technical, because once it's on that skin, this is what you're going to depend on to actually bring this portrait to life. And if this is not right, guess what? Your portrait got a 100% chance of not being right. And the spots where you want to really dedicate all your time at is on like the ears. Okay, you can mess up the ear a little bit, but it's not gonna be that bad. But you mess up the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, yeah, your portrait is guaranteed to pretty much be off. But like the hair and stuff like that, okay, yeah, you could kind of mess up certain things in that, but I just give a little basic structure of it, and I go and add little small twigs of hair with the mag. I don't try to structure out all of the little pieces of hair, but I go back in and add little twigs and stuff like that, because little twigs of hair a little bit of strains in here, yeah, that's something you can emphasize on. You don't really actually have to get it exactly perfect, because I don't think you're gonna get that perfect. That's something you gotta like, okay, let's just simplify this little here. Let's simplify this, because if you try to get exactly every strain, you're gonna wind up overdoing your portrait, probably even overworking the skin, and it's gonna just be a blur. Especially once it heals up, you gotta think about it. We tattooing for 10 to 20 years to come. However long this portrait gonna be on the body, you want this portrait to continue to be seen on the body. You don't want it to fade away, you don't want it to be too light, and you don't want it to be too dark. So you know what that means? You need to have that perfect balance. And also, as you see the way I stenciled that chain, I'm not trying to get every diamond in. I know it's like Cuban link, but I'm not trying to get every diamond. I want to just get it simple and mapped out. Alright y'all, it's time to run it through the stencil printer, and I always print out these 2 copies because that's the only thing that can fit on one sheet of paper. Just to get the exact sizing, or like a about size I need, I'll print out a larger one and I'll print out a smaller one. And once I get close to the size that I want, the size that I know for sure we need, I'll make it big on one side of the sheet of paper. Of course you gotta flip it, print out that stencil so I can see how it look. And if it's a go, time to get to work.